Today we are going to discuss about Mycobacterium leprae. Introduction. Mycobacterium leprae is the causative agent of leprosy, and this bacteria was discovered by G.H. Armauer Hansen in 1873. It is the first bacterial pathogen of human to be described, but still it remains one of the least understood organisms, mainly because it is non-cultivable. In 1960, Shepherd multiplied leprae bacillus in the foot pad of mice. General properties. This organism is not cultivable in artificial culture media or in tissue culture, so it does not follow Koch postulates. The animal models. It can be maintained in animals such as nine-banded armadillo, foot pad of mice at low temperature. And this organism is an obligate intracellular aerobe, and this organism is less acid fast as compared to the tubercle bacillus, and they can resist up to 5% sulfuric acid. Appearance. This bacteria can occur as cigar-shaped bundles of bacillus, which is present inside the lipid-laden macrophages known as Virchow's lepra cells. And this organism grow in cooler areas of our body, and the generation time is 12 to 13 days. Based on clinical, bacteriological, immunological and histological status of the patient, leprosy can be classified into different types. There are different types of classification methods. First one is Redley-Joplin classification. According to this, leprosy can be classified into 5 types such as lepromatous leprosy, borderline lepromatous leprosy, borderline leprosy, borderline tuberculoid leprosy and tuberculoid leprosy. Madrid classification. According to this classification, leprosy is divided into 4 types: lepromatous type, borderline, indeterminate type and tuberculoid type. And the other type of classification is the Indian classification. According to this classification, leprosy is divided into 5 types: lepromatous type, borderline type, indeterminate type, pure neurotic type and tuberculoid type. Next we can describe about different types of leprosy. First one is the lepromatous leprosy. Lepromatous leprosy is also known as multibacillary disease because inside the macrophages we can see large number of bacillus in large clumps, and the skin lesions will be symmetrical with irregular margin and the lesions appear as multiple nodules, plaques and xanthoma-like papules. The nerve lesions occurs very late and the CMI will be low and the lepromin test will be negative. Mycobacterium leprae can invade the nasal mucosa. They can be shed in large numbers in the nasal secretions. The patients are more infectious. Reticuloendothelial system, eyes, testes, kidney, bones are also involved. Any organ can be involved except CNS and the lungs. Bacteremia will be common and the prognosis will be poor. The next type of leprosy is the tuberculoid leprosy, and this type of leprosy is seen in patients with high degree of resistance to leprabacillus. This disease is also known as paucibacillary disease because bacilli are scanty in the lesions. Skin lesions will be few, asymmetric and hypopigmented. The nerves are enlarged and thickened. Nerve abscess may be seen. Nerve damage can lead to the deformities mainly in the hands and feet. Nerve involved are ulnar nerve, which is followed by post-auricular nerve. The lepromin test will be positive and the patients will be least infectious and the prognosis will be good. And the next type of leprosy is the borderline leprosy, and this type of leprosy is seen in patients possessing the characteristics in between the tuberculoid and lepromatous type. And this type of leprosy may shift to either tuberculoid and lepromatous type depending upon the chemotherapy and alteration in the host resistance. And another type of leprosy is the indeterminate leprosy, and this is the early unstable cases with one or two hypopigmented macules. The lesions are bacteriologically negative. And the last type of leprosy is the pure neurotic type. The patient develops neural involvement without any skin lesions. Cases are bacteriologically negative. Next, we can discuss about the complications of leprosy. There are two types of complications are seen in leprosy patients. First one is the allergic reaction and second one is the nerve deformities. And it is due to the nerve injury that can lead to the muscle paralysis or weakness, and also it may be due to the disease process and infection or injury. Common deformities include the deformities can be seen in the face, hands and feet. The deformities in the face include leonine facies, sagging face, loss of eyebrows or eyelashes, saddle nose, corneal opacity and ulcers. Claw hands and wrist drops are examples for deformities seen in the hands, and the deformities seen in the feet include foot drop, clawing of toes, inversion of foot and planar ulcers. And the allergic reactions that can be seen are type 1 allergic reactions can be seen in the borderline leprosy, and the type 2 allergic reactions can be seen in the lepromatous type. Laboratory diagnosis for leprosy. First is the smear microscopy. The smear microscopy is done to demonstrate the acid-fast bacillus in the lesion. Specimen collection. Total 6 samples are collected, 4 from the skin such as forehead, chin, cheek and buttock, and 1 from earlobe and nasal mucosa by nasal scraping. Slit skin smear. It is a technique followed to collect specimen from skin and earlobes. Preferred site is the edge of lesions. Lesion is cleaned with spirit and then pinched up tight to minimize bleeding. With the help of scalpel, 5 mm incision is made. Wipe off the excess blood or lymph that exuded. Rotate scalpel blade transversely to scrape the side and base of the incision to obtain a tissue pulp. Specimens are smeared uniformly on a slide over an area of 8 mm diameter. The nasal specimens are collected by nasal blow or nasal scraping. Nasal blow. Early morning mucous material is collected by blowing the patient's nose with a clean cellophane sheet. The nasal scraping. Mucosal scraping is used to scrape the nasal septum to remove a piece of mucous membrane which is transferred onto a slide and teased out into a uniform smear. Biopsy from thickened nerve and nodular lesions may be necessary in some cases. Appearance. Smears are stained by Ziehl-Neelsen staining technique by using 5% sulfuric acid as decolorizer. Under oil immersion objective, red acid-fast bacillus arranged single or in groups can be seen. It is also known as cigar-like bundles. Bacilli are bound together by a lipid-like substance, glia, to form globi. Globi present inside foamy macrophages called Virchow's lepra cells or foamy cells. Live bacillus can be seen as uniformly stained with parallel sides and rounded ends, and length is 5 times its width. Dead bacillus can be seen as less uniformly stained and have fragmented and granular appearance. Smears are graded based on the number of bacillus per oil immersion field. Mouse footpad inoculation. Mycobacterium leprae cannot be cultivated either in artificial culture media or in tissue culture. Mycobacterium leprae can be cultivated by inoculating the specimen into the footpad of mice and keeping at 20 degrees Celsius for 6 to 9 months. Nine-banded armadillo can also be used. Advantages is that it is more sensitive than the microscopy and it is useful in detecting the drug resistance. It detects viability of the bacillus and it is used to evaluate the potency of drugs. The disadvantages of this technique is that it is a time-consuming procedure. That means it requires 6 to 9 months and there is an ethical issue regarding the use of animals. Next is the antibody detection. There are two methods by which we can detect antibodies to the leprabacillus. First one is the FLA-IBS and it is used to identify the subclinical cases, and the ELISA can be used to detect the IgM antibodies. Lepromin test. This test is to detect CMI. The test is discovered by Mitsuda. 0.1 ml of lepromin antigen is injected intradermally to inner forearm. The reading is taken at 2 occasions, at 48 hours and at 21 days. We can see two type of reactions in this lepromin test. First reaction is known as the Early or Fernandez reaction. It is an induration surrounded by erythema and it is produced at the site of inoculation within 24 to 48 hours. Early reaction indicates delayed hypersensitivity reaction to soluble lepra antigen. Red area of greater than 10 mm diameter is considered as positive. Positive reaction indicates past exposure to leprabacillus. It does not indicate any active infection. The second reaction is the late or Mitsuda reaction. The reading is taken after 21 days. The positive test is indicated by a nodular formation of greater than 5 mm size at the site of inoculation that ulcerates later. Uses of lepromin test. It is used to classify the leprosy lesions. In tuberculoid leprosy patients, lepromin test is strongly positive. As the disease progresses towards the lepromatous type, positivity becomes weak. And the lepromatous leprosy patient, the lepromin test is negative. The lepromin test can also be used for assessing the prognosis. Intact CMI indicates a good prognosis. The lepromin test can also be used for assessing the individual's resistance to leprosy. Lepromin negative persons are at high risk of developing multibacillary leprosy than lepromin positive persons. Prevention of leprosy. Active case finding and effective treatment of cases is the most important measure to control leprosy. Next is a vaccine. MIP vaccine. It is known as Mycobacterium indicus prani vaccine. It is a killed leprosy vaccine which is developed in India in 2018 using Mycobacterium indicus prani. Trials has shown that if vaccine is given to people in close contact, cases can be brought down by 60% in 3 years. Chemoprophylaxis. Dapsone may effective when given to high risk household contact of tuberculosis patient. Hospitalized patients need not be isolated as transmission requires prolonged contact. Thank you.